That's true. Because that's the way our mindset rolled. That's why I'm telling you, we couldn't see that as being gangster. Back then, that was a punk move, right? But I'm saying not as a boy, as the mind of an adult man who have went through trauma, that was the most gangster scene. Because so many people, so many young people need to get out the car. Get out. And y'all need to let y'all homeboy out so he could go on and do what he need to do. Don't be Terrence Gangster Williams. He wouldn't tell you to be him today. Don't drag a nigga into some shit. You know they don't pull him into that water.
Real life.
It ain't real life. Just say real life street stars. You know what time it is.
Gotta start clapping right now. Real street legend in the building, CRIPTonite. What it is, brother?
We in the building, man. What's going down? Real life street stars, man. I done made it.
Hey,
legendary
man.
blue couch. Yeah.
Did you coordinate the fit with the couch?
Listen, ain't no doubt about it. Big Crip night in the building. It gotta be blue, man.
If the couch was red.
Listen, it would have been destroyed. I would have sat on it. I would have sat on it.
blue.
It would have broke. It would have broke. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, so I want to preface something because we had a guy named Blue Hands in here, man. Shout out King Shoe.
Shout out King Shoe.
When he came through, man, we was talking about his time frame, and we talked about a name, CRIPTonite.
CRIPTonite.
And we had to stay right there. I'm like, wait a minute, there was a name, CRIPTonite?
I'm in the building.
I'm
You
like,
talking to him.
we got him in the building, man, CRIPTonite. So before we even get started, man, based on that interview, the name CRIPTonite, because that's just a throw name in general.
Yeah, hey,
just for a crippin' actor.
Nah, it's that, man. It's definitely because of being young. You know, when I was a boy, they gave me that name because I was the type of person to get stuff done. You know, so when you think of CRIPTonite, it's like you can destroy something strong, right?
Correct.
But it was for my ability to think. Like, I'ma figure it out, put it on me. Where everybody else can stop, put it on me, I'ma make it happen. So that's the name that my comrades that I grew up with, not a prison name, right? I got that name from my comrades that I grew up with in the projects, from Cedar Terrace projects. They gave me that name.
Give us a little introduction of, your upbringing and then how you got introduced to gang culture.
Well, it's like pretty much with everybody's story, man. In the black community, we got plagued with crack and gangs, right? And so I grew up in a time where I saw crack come about. You know, one year, I don't know what crack is. The next year, everybody talking about crack. You know what I'm saying? And then right behind that, gangs is ushered into the community. And in every community here in Dallas, everywhere else, you have local gangs, local dance groups, local, competitions, kind of like what the kids got now with the drill, But in our time, movies like Colors turned these local gangs into like murdering machines. Colors gave us instructions and an identity. You see what I'm saying?
What was your movie that kind of just really, just as a young adolescent mind, that just really made you be like, nigga?
The hardest movie ever that spoke to me and spoke to our culture was Boys in the Hood.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah, that was
Because it showed it from all aspects.
Who did you cater to, and who did you feel like you were more like when you watched that movie?
And Boys in the Hood,
Yeah.
in that time, I was
You were
Ice
Dope Boy?
Cube. I was
Oh, yeah,
Dope Boy.
yeah.
Everybody was Dope Boy. But now, let's
I would have got out the car,
No,
me.
there we go. Now listen. I'm glad we right there, right? I got something for you and the artist. Listen.
Yeah.
Boys in the Hood is the greatest black movie ever made to tell our experience. Okay, in that movie, John Singer put a nugget in there that we all missed, right? Yeah. The most gangsterest part in that movie, right? Anybody got a gangster scene from Boys in the Hood? Can anybody give me one? Any one of y'all?
When they shot Rick in the back.
When they shot Ricky in the back, what you say? No, I'm just saying. What you say?
When he walked him down in the Burger King parking lot, and he said, "I didn't do it, man. I didn't do it. It wasn't even me. Killed that nigga anyway."
Killed him anyway. All right. I'm finna tell y'all all what the most gangster scene in Boys in the Hood that the late great John Singleton left us that we all miss. Right? The greatest scene, the most gangster scene in Boys in the Hood is when Trey said, "Let me out."
Definitely.
And Dope Boy let him out. Let him out. Didn't argue with him. Listen, didn't tell him he was a mark. Didn't say he was a buster. Pulled over and let his homeboy out the car. And that's the problem in our society. We gotta let people out.
Yeah, that's real.
He let that man out, man. That's the most gangstest thing that was done, but we missed that. You know what I'm saying? We want to take a nigga with us who don't want to go. Or we want to take a nigga with us who playing like he want to go.
We were talking to Terrence Gangster Williams, and he said, you couldn't get out the car because I would do you something right then if you tried to get out. What do you say to that?
That's true. Because that's the way our mindset, bro. That's why I'm telling you, we couldn't see that as being gangster. Back then, that was a punk move, right? But I'm saying, nah, not as a boy, as the mind of a dope man who have went through trauma, that was the most gangster scene. Because so many people, so many young people need to get out the car. Get out. And y'all need to let y'all homeboy out so he could go on and do what he need to do. Don't be Terrence Gangster Williams. He wouldn't tell you to be him today. Don't drag a nigga into some shit. You know they don't pull him into that water.
Shout out Reallyfe Street Starz, nigga. Move. Hey.